Sup, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to learn you how to make raw butter from raw fermented, basically raw milk, within the next 10 minutes. It can be fermented milk or it can be fresh milk, it doesn't matter. Come closer. So, first you want to collect the cream from the milk. Honestly, if your milk is sour and the cream is sour, it's going to be way easier to collect because look, it's not even liquid, it's like a yogurt. It's extremely easy. And honestly, the butter from fermented milk tastes pretty much the same as from fresh milk. And it's way easier to collect. However, in the second part of making raw butter, when you have to shake the jar to create the butter, if it's fresh, it's going to be easier to shake it. And if it's fermented, it's going to be easier to take it. So each has its downsides and its benefits. But it pretty much doesn't matter. Just get a bunch of raw milk with raw cream separated. It doesn't have to be a gallon jar like me, like I have, because I'm a lunatic and I drink from this. I'm 6'5", I drink from gallon jars, get over it. Everyone says it's weird, but it's not. Or you can just take like jar like this, or maybe even smaller, but you need like a wide lip where you can collect the cream. Ideally, if some milk which isn't cream gets there, it doesn't matter. But ideally, you want Jersey milk, raw Jersey milk. Because raw Jersey milk, or maybe buffalo or sheep milk, not really sheep milk, raw Jersey milk has way more fat than regular milk. Like 1 liter of Jersey milk has probably as much cream as 2 liters of regular raw milk. Now, I have some more sour cream in there, but I'm also getting a bunch of like milk and cheese in there, so I think that's about it. This is done. After you've collected cream in a mason jar, and ideally it's half full so it shakes the best, you just do this. You shake it like a retard for like, I don't know, it depends on the temperature. If the milk is cold straight from the fridge, you will be shaking for like half an hour and it's not worth it. If your milk is cold and you collect cream cold, then you need to wait for like few hours in room temperature, or ideally warm it up somehow. But actually this is the case. I just got it from the basement and it's pretty cool. But if it's room temperature, or it's the summer and the sun is hitting you, if it's very warm, you will turn the cream into raw butter in like 5, 6, 7 minutes basically. The camera is laughing. So after you get yourself warm and you start to shake, you continue shaking until few changes happen to the cream. And I will show you these changes when they occur so you are aware of them. This is how regular cream looks like after few minutes of shaking. So, after a few more minutes, it's hard to see, but it starts to look like something like half butter and half cream. It's called whipped cream, and if it was very cold, then the whipped cream will be actually like sticking all over the jar, and it will be like hard to shake it because it will be like sticking to sides of the jar. But because it's warm, it doesn't really stick. It looks kind of like regular cream. But if you look at not with camera but with naked eye, it looks kind of like fragmented, like butter, but it's still cream, so that's whipped. After a few more minutes, it's way thicker. It almost looks like butter now. Like half a minute more and it will be butter. Mark my words. Okay, so now it is basically done. Now, this looks kind of old. Like, because it's too hot, it looks like this. It's like, look, it's solid. It's no longer liquid. Whipped cream looks kind of similar when it's cold, but no, this is too solid. It's basically, this is not cream. This is butter. Only reason why it looks like cream somewhat is because it's literally like 40 degrees. But it tastes like, this is butter. Usually, if it's colder, then you will not have this uniform thick mass of butter, but you will have bunch of curds, bunch of butter swimming in bunch of buttermilk. You will have like, it looks like pieces of cheese or butter, and they will be swimming in this green water. and that's basically butter swimming in buttermilk. That's what happens if it's cold, and the butter can separate from the buttermilk. But now, because it's too warm, the butter basically behaves like cream, because it doesn't separate from the water, but it's whipped enough. It is butter. This is butter. There is much of water in it, and it's not pure butter, but this is butter. Even though you didn't get the buttermilk out, it's basically butter. If you do this to regular cream, also it's fresh. I mean, it's sour. With sour cream, it's hard to separate. But if this was fresh milk, it would separate easier. You take fresh cream or sour cream. It's not cold from the fridge, but ideally room temperature. Not too warm either, but room temperature. Or if it's cold, then do it in the sunlight. Basically find something slightly warm to do it in. And then shake it until it turns into whipped cream, which looks something between butter and cream. And then keep shaking it until either curds appear and you can get the buttermilk out, or it becomes literally just melted butter. And even though the buttermilk might not come out, it's butter. If it's like look, this is literally butter. If I told you there is no buttermilk in this, you would believe me. This is butter. This works. No blender needed, no device, no whatever. Just Jersey milk, mason jar, and few minutes of shaking. Now, I'm sorry, but I really cannot get the butter to separate from the buttermilk. But because this is not fresh cream but sour cream, it doesn't really matter, and it's pre-digested. So it being half butter, that's fine. You can eat it together with your meat meals and whatever. If this was fresh milk, I mean fresh cream, it will definitely separate because it's way more liquid and reacts differently. But yeah, if you've done this in colder temperatures or with fresh cream, then you will see bunch of butter swimming in a bunch of buttermilk. And what do you do afterwards? Well, you take the buttermilk and you either drink it because you are thirsty and hot after shaking hot in the sunlight or something, or what I do is I take the buttermilk and I put it inside of I have a glass gallon jar full of spring water or well water, and I have this spring and well water, and I put all whey and buttermilk and maybe some milk, which I get, but mostly whey and buttermilk that I make from making butter or from making raw unsalted to cottage cheese, and I pour the whey and buttermilk inside of the gallon of water. Because water by itself is a shit at hydration, and buttermilk and whey are really good at hydration, but you never get enough of buttermilk and whey to get hydrated all day. So what I do is I take buttermilk and whey and I put it inside of the water so it dilutes the water and makes it more hydrating with more nutrients and minerals. And at the same time, the whey and buttermilk will literally ferment the water. The water will ferment and turn into some sort of sweet, sour water kefir, and the entire glass of water will become more hydrating because it was whey and buttermilk with it. So that's what you should do with your buttermilk, especially in summer. Buttermilk and whey is like 9 out of 10 hydration. Water is like 2 out of 10 hydration, but water with the buttermilk and the whey is like 5 out of 10 hydration. And if you leave the buttermilk and whey long enough in the water, so it ferments, it becomes like 7 out of 10 hydration. So it's worth it. Usually, according to tutorials from farmers, you are supposed to clean the butter with some well water or something so it doesn't ferment, but that is absolutely unnecessary. If you have it in the fridge, it can last for at least a week without fermenting, and you're a primal dieter, so you don't care about it fermenting. In fact, the more fermented the raw butter will be, the better, the healthier it will be. And you probably make it from sour cream anyway, so it's fermented and sour anyway. Now, I've been on the primal diet for the last 5 years, since I was 16. And if you want more primal diet advice from me, then you might check out the first link in the description. Eat raw meat, get tan, and grow your hair out.